We are live. Welcome to episode 189 of the All Dolphins Podcast, the recap of the deflating, disappointing, I don't know what other adjective you can use.
Fumbled the bag.
Pooped the bed.
Pooped the bed. That's a pretty good one.
21-14 loss against the Buffalo Bills when the Dolphins were leading throughout most of the second half until the special teams again faltered. Wasn't all on the special teams, however. The loss leaves the Dolphins 11-6. Buffalo is also 11-6. Buffalo will win the division title, or has won the division title because they swept the Dolphins. Dolphins now will be the number 6 seed, and they will face the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium on Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, a game that is streamed on Peacock.
Ew.
For those of you watching, if you don't have Peacock.
Hold on, wait a minute. Streamed on Peacock?
Streaming exclusively on Peacock. It will be shown locally in South Florida. Okay. But if you do not live in South Florida, you either have to subscribe to Peacock or find a way to watch the game because it's not on your normal channels. It's like they did the Bills Chargers game at the end of the regular season. They did the same thing. It was a Peacock exclusive.
Omar, what embarrassing. Tua fumbled the bag again. It was an opportunity for him to take 153, drive his team down the length of the field, throws an interception. We've seen this far too often this season. This, I believe, is probably about the fourth time he's been in this situation, and he squandered the opportunity to produce come from behind, game tying or game winning drives. And it's just becoming a running theme for this season. You heard it. I said it. It's becoming a running theme for this season.
This is why I've said all along, why are we in such a hurry? And I know it very well still might happen. I don't know why we're in such a hurry to get married to this quarterback. Yes, I said it, to get married to this quarterback for the long term. There is a shrinkage element in big games like this, and I'm sorry. Did
you really say he has shrinkage?
There's a shrinkage element to his game in situations like that. And it wasn't just the last drive where he failed to lead the Dolphins to score because
2-3 and outs before that.
For one first down on the first 4 possessions of the second half, at a time when the defense has bailed you out time and time again. Because again, for those of you viewers who accuse Omar and I of being Josh Allen lovers, if you can't look at the guy and say, like Vic Fangio said, he is a dude. He's a dude. He can get sloppy. He will make some bad decisions, bad mistakes. But
he'll make it up.
If you can't see that guy special as a quarterback, I can't help you. Pure and simple. And again,
quite impressive to watch him work. And if you the 30 for 38, 359 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw 2 interceptions, but he also ran for 67 yards on 15 attempts. Man,
including that gigantic 3rd and 14, which, by the way, and I'm going to bring this up because I know there's this idea that you put Jalen Ramsey on the opposing team's best receiver and all problems are solved and all that. Well, he gave up some completions. He should have given up an 89-yard touchdown in the first half, except that Josh Allen completely overthrew Stephon Diggs, who was wide open after really beating him. And on that 15-yard scramble by Josh Allen on 3rd and 14, they called defensive holding on Ramsey. So it would have been a first down anyway, and that would have helped the Bills chew even more clock. Even though Dolphins didn't run out of time, they got the pick at the end of the game.
Man, listen, Josh Allen accounted for 426 of the Bills' 473 yards. Yep. That's crazy. That's just unbelievably ridiculous.
And that's the thing. It's like, and again,
9 of 15 third downs.
Folks want to fixate on the picks or whatever, turning the ball over. You tell me he's not the difference in this game. I mean, come on, let's get serious.
He's your daddy.
Oh, there he goes. One time. I wonder how many times it's going to come up in here. And then
I cannot believe how much they were in position to actually do this. And it would have surprised me because I just thought they were very shorthanded. Then they became even more shorthanded in the game, losing just about every defensive lineman. And
no,
they were still
edge defender.
Every edge defender, my bad. Every edge defender. And they were still in position. Hell, you get the ball back on that critical fourth down stop. Mm-hmm. And 153, no timeouts. I'm sorry, that's enough. That's enough of an opportunity. And you see it time and time again in the NFL. And here we go, throwing an interception. And a lot of times it's, when you know that he needs to throw it outside the numbers, that's when he can't throw it outside the numbers. And
no, it's defenders around.
What do you say?
There were two defenders around Claypool. It's a safety that came in. There was a guy under, and then a safety that came in from the top who got the pick.
Taylor Rapp.
And here's the thing is, I mean, the defense was doing a whole lot of bending. I tweeted at some point that to me, I was getting feels from the game last September where the Bills were moving the ball all over the place, but they kept leaving points on the field. The 2 picks in the end zone. Then you have the Wilkins sack strip, forced fumble recovery. Then you have the Jerome Baker massive hit at the end of the first half when they threw the ball in the field of play with the clock running.
That was so lucky. That was such luck.
But it's a great play by Baker. And
it's a great play by Baker, but what were the Dolphins doing on that possession, on that drive? That was just complete asinine. Calling the timeout when they have 5 seconds left. They're scrambling. You clearly know that maybe you're scrambling too, but they've got 5 seconds left to snap the ball. You call a timeout, bail them out. Then you're playing prevent defense where you have every defender defending the goal line and just give them free yardage. And the mistake is they should have thrown the ball in the end zone. But lo and behold, if it wasn't for a dynamic stop by Jerome Baker, that would have been a score. That's. I mean, I know they had the lead for the majority for all of the first half or majority of the first half. That was such a disaster of a game plan and play calling. I liked a lot of the running plays. I liked the RPOs. I liked the pistol work. It's intriguing. It showed that this is a very tailor specific game plan for the Buffalo Bills. But man, some of those decisions can't be on board with it. Can't be on board with it. And some of it paid off for you, but some of it just absolutely blew up in your face.
Well, I think to me, like in the second half, they kept going to that little fake one side and the pitch to the other side. And in the second half, that thing wasn't working. I mean, it was working early on. But the Dolphins had I think 2, maybe 3 possessions in the second half with the lead. And it was like basically 3 and out.
This is just such a disappointment.
No, and then you have the punt return because God forbid you go 2 games without the special teams coming up with and this happens. And they pointed out here on the NBC replay is Cameron Good is running down the field. He winds up colliding with Alec Ingold, injures his knee that leads to him leaving on a cart. At the same time, he wipes out Ingold and leaves wide open a gap that Deontay Hardy goes through on his way to a 96-yard touchdown.
That's what happens when you got core special teamers playing on defense. It just is. That's what happens all the time.
At some point. Last week was a 76-yard kickoff return. Now you got a 96-yard punt return. I mean, come on. And if it's that catastrophic, have Jake Bailey punt out of bounds.
Oh, very good point. I never thought about that. Here's some kickers for you. The best offense in the NFL, probably not anymore. 275 yards, 14 points. They did get 108 rushing yards, which is to their credit. But obviously this falls short of expectations. One thing that did surprise me, there was a lot of talk about Bills fans sort of infesting Hard Rock Stadium, and it clearly seemed like it. On that crowd had to be at least 35-40% Bills fans, because man, they celebrated the Bills' successes, and boy, were they booing and making noise during the Dolphins' possessions. So props to the Buffalo Bills and their fan base. Well earned, well deserved AFC East title. The Dolphins, I'm sorry, but until you can beat the Buffalo Bills, your season's going nowhere. And here we are, right at the death's doorstep, heading up to Kansas City. Fortunately, Kansas City doesn't have any wide receivers, so your issues in your secondary won't be absolutely highlighted. But yeah, that was just a disappointing performance.
Yeah, but the issues in the second, and I know.
You don't think there are issues in the secondary?
I know you love to pound on that. I don't.
You don't think there are issues in the secondary?
Again, I'm gonna tell you they lost the game because their special teams gave up a touchdown and because their offense was complete ass in the second half. The defense, yeah, and they gave up 21 points. That's not, which is not horrible. Don't
get yeah. Gave up 21 points because the quarterback turned the ball over 3 times.
I think that's kind of part of playing defense. I'm not sure, but I think it is.
But it had nothing to do with the secondary. I mean, Eli Apple, that was an interception gift wrapped to him. And
I understand that, but you're like making it sound like DBs never get beat.
Oh, DBs get beat.
Okay, right. And Jalen Ramsey got beat too. So again, you have this fascination with dumping on Eli Apple.
You don't think Eli Apple's a problem?
I don't think Eli Apple was a problem tonight.
Okay, you didn't answer the question. You don't think Eli Apple's a problem?
Dude, he's not Xavier Howard, but you go from
he's got to be Xavier Howard.
For example, the Bills also lost Rasul Douglas. They were down to a backup too. The Bills lost Gabriel Davis, who was their wide receiver. And so again, to me, like for example, the offensive line actually had a very, very solid game. Dude, I mean, what do we want here? Again, it's not.
I just want competent. Like, okay, well, I mean, it's not just him. It's catered to. It is what it is. Hell, it's Deshaun Elliott too. I mean, he got beat a couple times, and hell, but we are where we are. This team is what it is. They're headed to the playoffs. They got injuries everywhere. They got probably no pass rush going into Kansas City, and a Swiss secondary that looks like Swiss cheese right now. And who knows what you got at running back or the offensive weaponry, because it was pretty much the Tyreek show and nobody else today. Devon Achane.
You mean okay, but he was fine. It was again. By the way, you mentioned the running style. Unless I'm severely mistaken, it was over 100 yards in the first half, and in the second half, it was basically zip.
Yep. Yeah. No.
So they were fine offensively in the first half, and again, by the way, this is the Baltimore game. This is the first Buffalo game where the offense is effective in the first half, and then it goes like this in the second half. So.
I don't know. I don't know what to say or how to explain it, because they just didn't show up in the second half. They're, and I think the defense did enough to put them in a position to win the game. And, the offense, primarily the quarterback, came up short. And as Mike McDaniel always says, a quarterback is not going to win you the game, but a quarterback can certainly lose you the game. And I'm not going to put the entire loss on Tua Tagovailoa, but you had 153 to put your team in scoring position. You failed to do so, and you turned the ball over again. And this is.
Yeah, but you to me, you're fixating too much on just the last drive. It wasn't just the last drive.
They had an opportunity.
I understand. I understand that, but that was one of 5 possessions. The Dolphins didn't score in the second half. That to me is more an indictment of the offense.
Okay.
than not scoring on the last drive.
But as you consistently say and point out, is Tua special or is he not special?
He's not. And
I can't. I don't have any evidence to argue against your point.
no, what you've had is faith.
Yeah.
And faith is based on belief. And I take more the scientific approach. Show me the facts and show me the evidence. And
are you really going to bring your religious beliefs into this?
no, I'm equating it to football. We're not talking politics or religion on this show. No. You want the science, and I have faith. Now I got to wait till 2024. Well, actually, it is. Yeah, but how many times do you need to see it? It's like, to me, Tua is a facilitator.
He is.
And here's the thing: is when the engine's running well, he's a fabulous driver.
Yeah, he is.
But if the engine's not running well, he's going to be crashing all over the place. That's the best analogy I can make.
I don't think you are lying. I don't think I'm the body of work backs that up. It's, you at some point you got to be able to put your team on your shoulder, just like Josh Allen did today, just like the previous, well, not Lamar, because that was just a ridiculous, unbelievable performance. But you've played against quarterbacks that have put their team on their back and carried them. And I don't want to hear anything about the Dallas win. Like, let's please, people. Like, he threw like 2 decent passes on that drive. And that drive was the run game.
Well, look at you.
It happened, but let's not deceive ourselves.
He facilitated that final drive. Correct.
What'd you say?
He facilitated that final drive.
You facilitated it. At some point, you're going to have to put yourself in position where you can put your team on your back. And now, until you do that, you're just going to be the next generation's Kirk Cousins. Matt Ryan. I wouldn't even disrespect him by saying Ryan Tannehill, but Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, which is cool. It's cool.
Right. And again, what's the end goal here?
Win a Super Bowl, championship.
Correct. Well, here's the thing. Like, if the Dolphins, right now, it's very hard to feel good about the prospects of the playoff game next week in Kansas City. So how do we feel about the season if the Dolphins lose in KC? They will have gone 11-6, lost in the first round of the playoffs. And I unless I'm mistaken, I do believe they'll finish number 1 in total offense. So you led the league in offense, 11-6, which is 2 games better than last year, but you still didn't win a game in the playoffs. Are we feeling good about that?
I'm feeling good about nothing.
Okay.
I'm feeling good about answering some podcast questions. That's what I'm feeling good about.
Okay, let's do it.
When do we get Cousins as a QB? Always primetime games. We don't show. I must say, this is pathetic. Losing another division title missed. Man, to have everything that you want right at the doorstep and to fumble it in the second half on all phases of the game. That's just absolutely embarrassing. I don't think you got outplayed by Buffalo. You just fumbled the bag, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't even debate that.
You don't think they got outplayed?
No, I don't think they got outplayed.
Game like 470 to what? I mean, how much the Dolphins end up with? Did they clear 300?
275.
So they got outgained by about 200 yards. They didn't get outplayed? Really?
It scores 21-17, so 21-14.
But again, as you said yourself, it was only 21-14 because the Dolphins got 2 picks in the end zone. They got to stop at the 1 yard line. And then they got the fumble at the 20 yard line. I mean,
okay.
To me, it was, let's say in the first half, it was like a semi-even battle. In the second half, it was one boxer hanging on for dear life, and the other one just keep throwing punches all over the place. Okay, Bobby, thank you. F these ticket holders who sold out. I know money is all that matters, Omar. This game showed that this team isn't ready yet.
Man, as I say, Bobby, all the time, I got my lawn man / garbage man. He's a hustler. He buys season tickets. And who am I to tell that man that he can't sell his tickets to raise enough money to buy next year's season tickets? Because deposits are due. So listen.
However, if I don't know if you saw the tweets on, I think it was yesterday, of somebody showing a season ticket member getting a letter from the Dolphins saying that his membership will not be renewed next season because ostensibly he sold his tickets to Buffalo fans. Not sure how they would have found that out, but and the second part of this game showed that this team isn't ready yet. If ready for the Super Bowl, no.
Man, they are snitching on who you selling your tickets to. Damn, it's a tough life.
Shuggy Wuggy, same play call, second half, no.
Bro, Shuggy Wuggy, what an awesome name.
It is awesome.
Same pick call in the second half. No puncher, no counter punch. Terrible. I didn't even see the same play call in the second half, so I don't know if I agree with you. I think the game plan was what the game plan is. And I think a lot of the game plan was predicated on what would lead to success based on the weaponry you had. That was a ton of RPO. That was a ton of pistol. And I like the RPO and I like the pistol. Yes, if they threw in some I formation, I would have been like, damn, this is my wet dream right here. But I think that a lot of that was a byproduct of playing shorthanded, and this is the best that we've got to offer. I don't necessarily believe that it was the best for this opponent. It was this is what we got to work with.
But here's the thing, though. On offense, they were shorthanded.
Mm-hmm.
In missing Waddle is the key guy that they were missing because hold on. The offensive line was the healthiest it's been since Washington because you had Robert Hunt back in and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Mostert is a fabulous player, but it's not like Jeff Wilson didn't run the ball well, and it's not like A-Chain didn't look like an absolute superstar in the first half.
Okay, but a lot of their base offense is A-Chain and Mostert on the field at the same time.
Some of it, not a ton of it.
Oh, it's a ton of it.
No, some of it, and this notion that they couldn't do what they normally would do, because they were missing some players. Again, as you have said, my friend, many times. I don't remember the last time you said it. I think the quote is something along like nobody wants to hear about injuries or everybody's got injuries. It's a game of attrition. Not like Buffalo had some guys.
Buffalo lost more players than Miami did in this game.
Correct. So I'm not necessarily buying that the Dolphins were shackled with what they could do offensively.
I'm not shedding a tear for them. Listen, all I'm saying is I do believe that the game plan offensively was predicated based on what they feel would work best for them based on the personnel that they have. And now would I have loved to see more passes to the tight end? Would I love to see more passes to the fullback incorporate a little bit more? Yes, I like that stuff. I think it's good. I think it works. Do I necessarily know that it would have been an ideal fit versus this opponent? Probably not. But you got to respect that they at least evolved and changed it up. I wanted to ask you this question because I was noticing it and it was driving me insane. Did you notice Liam Eichenberg lining up like a full yard ahead of the rest of his offensive line?
Yeah, that's something uncommon. I've seen that from other teams as well.
I mean, have you seen it from the Dolphins though?
I can't say that it's something I've never noticed. Yeah, I've seen it before. Okay. I noticed you put out a tweet about that, and I was like, that didn't strike me as being necessarily that odd.
It was.
Okay, we have a ton of questions. Let's tackle some more of these questions.
Let's tackle the questions. Tua gonna need an accountant for all them receipts.
There's gonna be a lot of receipts after this. Yes.
Hey, listen. I don't think Tua's going to be beating himself up to death for that interception. And we're not even listening to the press conference, but it's coming. And he's going to fall on the sword and take all responsibility. And his head coach is going to tell him it's not his fault. It's my fault. And I should have done a better job. And on Thursday, Vic Fangio is going to tell you his game plan sucked. I mean, that's just what about this team. But here's the bottom line. Your season isn't over. You got one more game to play. You got a lot of injuries.
What kind of thinking is that? You have at least one more game to play. You're like, you got one more game to play. You giving up already? I mean, damn.
Freudian slip. No,
man.
Bro, I said, and I'm not shying away from it. No Xavier Howard season done. Like you better figure out something else to do because you're not beating anybody with these cornerbacks. Nobody. And that was with what
they didn't lose because of the cornerbacks.
It's the cornerbacks. And then you got why are you shaking your head? It's the cornerbacks. Trust me.
They did not lose because of the cornerbacks.
I get you, but you're not stopping nobody. You're not stopping
Josh Allen because you never stop Josh Allen. I mean,
wow. Okay.
And you know when the Dolphins stopped Josh Allen, there were a couple of games when Brian Flores was the head coach and they were going crazy with him blitzing. And there were a couple of games they had some success, but for the most part, they never stopped Josh Allen.
Props to Fangio because Fangio said, "Let me blitz you, Josh."
And the first blitz came off the blitz.
Yeah, that was a very surprising. I guess he learned from Lamar Jackson. You can't just let them sit back there and pick them apart.
Okay. Skylar, thank you for the contribution. Hard to be not super emotional after this game, but it is what it is. Do we really still believe Tua is the guy? I mean, yeah, he led in yards, but he can't make the big play.
I have no arguments there. I do still believe that Tua is the guy. He's going to be a $200 million quarterback. It is what it is. No. Poop says no. He's not going to be a $200 million quarterback.
No. When I shake my head, I'm saying he shouldn't be. I kind of lean toward Omar that I do think they have Google eyes for the dude, and the overall regular season record is good. I just don't know that that's the guy who gets you to the big game, and specifically given the way this offense is constructed. Yeah, I just don't know. So the guy for what? Okay. Oh, interesting one. Trade up for Michael Penix. He has it.
I like Michael Penix. I don't know if you'll have to trade up for him though, but I'm not on board with drafting a quarterback now. Not in the first round. Maybe one of the later rounds, but not in the first round. I would have took the Tennessee quarterback last year. Hooker, yeah, and watched him develop. I got to check where he's at, what he's doing.
No, he was inactive the whole year with Detroit. I mean,
yeah, okay, yeah. And they signed Bridgewater, so yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which one?
Why does McDaniel always abandon the run game, especially when it's working? Also, Tua just choked away his big contract. Also, Tua's going to get his big contract, so there is no choke away. Like, trust me, people. It'll be $200 million, and you're just going to have to stomach it. Listen, in regards to McDaniel and abandoning the run, I can't even sit here and say that shying away from the run was a bad idea in the second half. It just was how the game's flow goes.
It also wasn't working as much.
Yeah.
I mean, in the first half, there was like 6 yards here, 7 yards there, and 9 yards there. I mean, they were ripping him up in the second half. The one play I want to see disappear from the playbook is a 2-yard completion on 3rd and 3. Please get rid of it. He had one of the drives in the second half ended that way. And if it wasn't for the fact that the Dolphins were up 7, the ball was at their own 25-yard line. I'm sure McDaniel would have gone for it on 4th and 1, but couldn't go there. Tona Grassa. CA Canadian. Hi, fellow Canadian. Big fan following Omar since the Matt Lincoln days of X's and Omar.
Appreciate that, Matt. I mean, Tona.
Is Tua regressing to the old 1-2 boneheaded plays a game?
I don't know if he has boneheaded plays in him. I just think unfortunate mishaps.
I'm sorry, mishaps. The first one was weird. And had you arrived at the stadium when he threw the first pick?
I didn't go to the stadium. Come on.
Oh God, okay.
I can't do the live right after because I used the referee's booth, and that needs time to.
Okay. The first pick, the replay that we saw, it didn't look, and they showed it, and then it's Tyreek doing the same motion, going outside and cutting upfield. And I didn't notice him. He didn't create any separation. And I know some of the comments on Twitter was like the pass was underthrown. But I don't know that I noticed Tyreek like ever slowing down. It just like he didn't create any separation, and then Tua just checked it up there, and Benford undercut it. I don't know that's taking a shot, and it was third and
it was like a punt.
And then the second one, it's not a bonehead play. I think he's trying to make something happen because they need. The problem is again, it's a very long throw, and there were two guys in the area, and the ball. By the time it got there, the safety went around the receiver and made the pick. But I don't know that I call him.
No, I wouldn't call them bonehead throws. And in fact, I like the first interception because it was like a punt. That play could have ended 3 ways, 4 ways really. Could have ended with Tyreek catching the ball, which we've seen time and time again. Could have ended with Tyreek drawing a PI, which we've seen time and time again. Could have ended with just a drop, or could have ended with an interception. And unfortunately, ended with the worst case scenario, but that was like a punt. It was a 16-yard line. Like
it was literally 40 yards. It was literally a net of 40 yards, which special teams coaches will take every day of the week. Mm-hmm. Randy Rogers. Randy, I appreciate you guys. I was a longtime Dolphin Digest subscriber. Love to Alan. Josh Allen or this Allen? I'll be listening next week. Plan to make sure NBC never gets a penny from me. Sad that Greer spent our resource.
Sad that Greer spent our resource? What does that mean?
Resources, I would imagine. And I'm guessing you're not watching the game on Peacock next. Peacock Plus, I think it is, next week. Sad that Greer spent our resources.
I don't understand that part.
Why would you be sad? They went for it.
They went for it. And right now, they're on fumes because of injuries. And I don't know. And they've done a phenomenal job, even though I was very concerned entering the season. But they've done a phenomenal job having backups capable of stepping up and basically reinforcing the depth. Props to them for making it this far. But I'm sorry, you're not winning games with Cameron Good's back up on the field. That's just the reality of it. Cameron Good should not step foot on the field. Or let me be. That's a bad Omar. Cameron Good.
You're gonna force me to do something I don't want to do because I like the guy. But go ahead.
Cameron Good is a respectable special teams player. If you're asking him to play edge rusher snaps, you're in trouble. And the Dolphins were asking him to play edge rusher snaps.
Well, maybe because they weren't getting anything out of a certain player who you've been championing for quite a while. And did you? Let's be honest. Did we notice him tonight?
I noticed him, but not making a play. Let's look at the stat line.
You saw 91 on the field.
Wow!
If you didn't register a one stat.
I think he did have a tackle. He had 4 tackles. Thank you, sir.
Whoa, really? Did not notice him. Melvin Ingram had a couple of nice plays. Even though on his sack, that was a Jerome Baker sack because he's the one who flushed out.
5 tackles, 1.5 sacks.
Ooh.
Melvin Ingram.
Okay.
David Long had 10 tackles. Deshaun Elliott had 10 tackles. Jerome Baker had 9 tackles. Brandon Jones had 8 tackles. Eli Apple, he got 8 tackles too.
Jones was a stud.
Probably gave up 8 receptions too.
You are a harsh man.
Brandon Jones, I thought that he could probably hit Josh Allen and maybe dented a chink in that armor. Because, Brandon Jones keeps laying out his own teammates. How about you lay out a quarterback? I would have loved to have seen him.
Ooh, Josh Allen is twice his size.
I agree, but don't act like that guy hasn't laid out people before.
Oh, no. He's and he had a couple of really nice tackles for loss on running plays. Ruben Jr., either Omar's prepping for a Cam Wake interview on the podcast, or he's at the game ready to suit up for the next pass rush.
Cameron Wake is probably about 211 pounds right now. No, probably even less than that.
Yeah, that much.
If that much, yeah. He's lost a ton of weight. Did you saw the pictures?
Yes, I saw one picture.
Cameron Wake sighting. That's like seeing a
Sasquatch.
Yeah, that's like seeing a Sasquatch. Props to him for being out there. Tua is not elite. Realtor Dan B. Tua is not elite and never will be. Doesn't deserve a big contract. Blame it on Tua and Coach Mike, along with special teams. Defense did well. Injuries. I guess defense did well despite the injuries. Yeah.
You held them to 21 points. It's a loss.
Nothing he said was a lie.
That's what we like. Matt, to our side, this offense really seems to miss Mostert. Achane is great, but seems limited what types of plays he can run. Thanks for the stream, guys.
That's a good point. No, Achane takes pride in being an inside runner, so I think that's a diss. That's not fair.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Ooh, harsh. Matthew, thank you. Can't pay $40 million to a statue who's small in crunch time.
It's $50 million, sir. 50. It's not $40 million. That's Daniel Jones money.
He's not getting 50.
He's getting close to 50.
Maybe he shouldn't, but say it after me, Omar. 5th year option. I'm not talking about what will happen. I'm talking about what should happen.
Yeah, can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Do I need to see it? Yes. I have not seen it yet. Can we talk about Tariq's how many? 4? No way. Can we talk about Tariq's drops?
You said
not the first time he dropped game-changing plays. Yes.
This was for the number of seasons the dude's been in the NFL. We haven't seen it by now. Okay, Anthony, we'll go back to Anthony. Can we talk about Tariq's drops? Not the first time he's dropped game-changing plays. Was it really a game-changing play, the one he dropped?
Listen.
Oh, by the way, time out. If you're talking about game drops, there was one, and it was a low ball he should have caught. There was another one where he was wide open on a first down in the series that when they wound up having penalty after penalty, where he was wide open on an easy slant and 2-1 hopped him. The one that was challenged and reviewed. I hope you're not talking about that as a drop, because that was just a bad throw.
I wasn't counting the drops. It is what it is. I think Tyreek is the most dangerous weapon in the NFL. If he drops passes, he drops passes.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever accused him of having great hands.
I think you'd find offense to that.
Where's the lie?
Anthony Coleman. Sorry, we need a QB. Tebow equals Tua. Fangio the fraud.
I guess that's Fangio the fraud.
At least spell the man's name right. I don't have a problem with the way the defense played. I don't. Oh wow, DA Truth. Okay. Omar, never want you to say Tua is elite again after tonight. Can we get rid of special teams coach already? I think I'm going to push back and say that I do believe that Tua is going to be elite. Has he been elite this season? No. Has his cojones dropped yet? No. Let's hope that it does one day, and that day he's playing for the Miami Dolphins, but it's a little bit rough right now. These are some lean years, and you really got to have a conviction on your quarterback. Don't take one if you don't have a conviction. And sometimes you got to ride it out 5 years, maybe 6. Tannehill got 6.
That's true. If you notice, yes, you pose that question to Omar because I think my feelings on the subject have been very well defined. By the way, yes, well, as far as special teams coach Andy Crossman, let's just say that among the Dolphins media contingent, we were all very surprised that he actually was brought back for this season. And in fact, one of us, I don't remember who it was exactly, I think asked McDaniel why he was brought back. I mean, that's how surprising it was, basically. I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
in his defense, and there isn't much of a defense, but in his defense, when you start playing player after player after player after player, that is part of your core special teams unit, and they have to play base defense. You're not buying that. You're not accepting that.
Next man up, baby. Next man up. You have an injury.
Next man up means the next backup plays on special teams.
I understand that.
And
do you think the Dolphins are the only team that has backup playing special teams?
I'm just telling you what's happening. And right now, the starters are handling themselves. We need to take a look at some of those backups.
You got guys who play pretty much nothing but special teams. Not buying it. Haitian Trucker, thank you very much. Always enjoy the show.
Haitian Trucker.
We usually enjoy doing the show.
Oh, Haitian Trucker.
Trucker.
My bad. I thought it was a Haitian Tracker.
Thank you.
Tua sucks. Our fans. MJ Ocasto says Tua sucks. Our fans suck just as bad for not showing up. Truth hurts. As I said, I'm not going to fault any fan for moving on. And I'm also not going to fault those who stand by Tua and continue to show him the respect and support that he deserves, because he's a very hard worker.
Who said he wasn't?
Brian Flores. Go ahead. Continue the question. David Rome recording. Why is Tua so stuck on passing to Tyreek when others are open? Who is open? 3 defenders by Tyreek means someone else is open. Technically, in an ideal world, that is true, but you got to watch coaches' film. Like, I'm sorry, a lot of guys aren't getting open.
No, and then that dude gets open.
Yeah.
Mario, Tua's timing gets predictable, out of sync in key pressure situations, even in fast release plays. Is the blame on OL, Tua, or McDaniel calls? Here's the thing, that whole offense and what Tua does best is if it can be like boom, 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 get the ball out. It's timing, and that requires you can roll your eyes all you want. You know I'm speaking the truth, and
I am rolling them.
And there are problems. Or at least your neck's not hurting. I said neck. No, and then the success rate goes down when he has to make plays off schedule. That's not a big secret. I mean, everybody's known that. And whose fault is that? I don't know that it's anybody's fault. That's who he is as a quarterback. When he can operate and guys are getting open quickly, and he's going to see them, he's going to find them, and he's usually going to put the ball on the money. But they have to be there.
When he's off schedule, he's not very good. Should strength and conditioning staff, Dave Rome recording, should strength and conditioning staff be fired? Absolutely not. 19 players are injured, not 18, and actually 20 because Deshaun Elliott entered that game. Did you know that? Entered that game like injured?
They announced it on NBC, but right before the game, he pulled a calf during.
Brian
in front of me here, and they're just showing the punt return for a touchdown, and the one player from the left side coming in. I don't know how well of a shot he had at him, but it was Channing Tindall lunging.
Let's not talk about Channing Tindall. Brian Wood, must pay Wilkins. Tua shouldn't get anything. Not arguing with you, Brian.
No, Wilkins came up big in a big game. I mean, he was balling tonight.
Yep. Oh,
I like this one.
Daniel W says, say something to cheer us up. What do we have? Why do we have a shot against Kansas City? I'll tell you why you have a shot against Kansas City, because they don't have any receivers and you don't have any secondary.
The Dolphins have a shot because Kadarius Toney could wind up juggling a pass from Mahomes right into the arms of Eli Apple or Kohu or somebody else for a DB, and they'll return it for a pick six.
As I said, they don't have any receivers and you don't have any cornerbacks. The marriage made in heaven.
Rude. David Rome recording. Do you think we peaked too early, or is it just injuries?
Injuries, brother. Injuries. No, you say peak too early?
How different is the way the Dolphins are ending the season in terms of what the performances look like from what we saw last year? And I know you weren't on the beat, but I don't know if you saw the games against the Chargers, against the 49ers, against the Bills. Although, no, that Bills game, actually, the Dolphins played well. Or against the Packers. They look discombobulated when they get against stout teams late in the season.
I have no context to compare it to. I just think that they're a good team and they'll have opportunities to show that when they're healthy. And right now, they're far from healthy. You follow me?
I'm sorry. I think that's a cop out. And yes, they're absolutely banged up. But to say, hey, they would be great if they were healthy. Sorry, not buying it.
Ben Rowan Tree. Bills had 3 turnovers, means 3 more possessions for Miami, still only 14 points. I believe, what were they averaging? 18.7 points per game to the winning teams this season?
It was 18.2, I think.
Okay, 18.2. You're a Rain Man, so you would know. It is.
That's not injuries. Again, that's not injuries.
I didn't say it was.
Well, but you said that the late season issues are all about injuries.
Okay.
They're not. Ooh. Chuck Van Straw. As long as Tua feels appreciated, that's all that matters. I think I detect some sarcasm here. You should have put a little hashtag sarcasm or if you're dead serious.
Yeah, we're both not very good judges of sarcasm. If you meant that to be sarcastic, or I don't know.
Because I hope you don't think that that's all that matters, that he feels appreciated. It's about.
I think I understand that Kim being appreciated is very important. His teammates are going to be watching and judging, and if you don't take care of the quarterback, you're not going to take care of anybody. That's the thought process that I've always had in that situation. If you don't take care of the quarterback, you're not going to take care of anybody. If you
can take care of your pure franchise quarterback who can take you to the Super Bowl, absolutely. Not there yet.
Mm-hmm. Why isn't it? Damn, we've answered David Rome's question 16,000 times. Why isn't McDaniel making adjustments when plays stop working? I've never called a play, so I'm not going to sit here and.
Not only that, if we were to ask McDaniel that, he'd be say, "Well, you're playing the results, and it's easy to second guess when the plays don't work. It's more about execution."
Daniel says, "I've been a Tua optimist, but I'm at the point now where if a QB falls in the draft, Miami should draft a QB as a developmental piece." I do not oppose that thought process. I would be drafting a QB as a developmental piece all the time. So it doesn't bother me, but there are people who will say you can't expend resources on a quarterback. And I would argue with them, I can save $4 million by getting rid of Mike White and investing in a young quarterback that could be a developmental project, which is why I liked Hooker from last year. However, team didn't feel that way, and we just continue to move on. Yeah,
but then what do you do if Tua gets hurt next year? You're gonna have we're good with Skylar Thompson as a number 2, or you're gonna throw in your developmental guy into the fire?
Kirk Cousins it, baby. Just throw him in. Throw him in and let him cook. Slow roast him.
Yeah. Again, to me, the idea of drafting a young quarterback to develop is if he has like a highly unusual trait that stands out.
Okay, that's possible. That's fine. You know what a highly unusual trait is for this contingent of fan base?
What's that?
It's totally forgot my train of thought. What were we talking about? It's been a long day. It's
developmental quarterbacks.
And I can't remember what I was saying.
Okay, let's move on there. David Rome again. How come we never see anger or passion from Tua on the field? Where is the fire?
Composure. Show it. Act like you've been here before. That's what Tua is showing you. Composure. Get your composure self. You want to see him crying? Is that what you want to see? Ain't happening.
I don't mind seeing. No, I don't want to see a tantrum, but I don't mind seeing like a heavy fist bump or a punch in the air after a big play. Not like
bro. He just gave you a talk to me, and now you want oh, bro.
We're doing this at the sideline.
Talk to me.
Okay. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Charles.
That's an excellent question right there, Omar. That's a great question. Why is Tyreek backflipping on a bad ankle?
And let me ask you a question, Alan Bard. Let me ask you a question. How many people do you think work in Miami Gardens who could say anything to Tariq Hill?
That's another excellent point. Where's my? I don't have my. But the point
I get a proverbial mint for that. Like, there's a few select people in that facility that you bet you can't say two. One is Tyreek Hill, and the other is Vic Fangio. Like, they tell you what's going down.
I think Jalen Ramsey might be in that category with the contract he has.
Well, Vic Fangio tell Jalen Ramsey what the hell he's going to do. So
here's the thing is, and this is where you would hope that Tariq would have the maturity to do that. That's one side of it. The other side of it is just scored a touchdown, is excited, the adrenaline kicks in, and he's doing it, forgetting for a second, and I got a bad ankle. And mind you, on the game-sealing interception, he wasn't on the field because he hurt his ankle going up for a pass to play before.
Are you blaming the backflip? Is that what you're doing? Is that I feel?
No. He landed wrong. He landed wrong on the incompletion before the pick. But this is a very good point. If I'm Mike McDaniel, I would be irate. I would be irate. But like Omar said, you're gonna do what to Tyreek?
You're literally, to get you out of your cap hell, you're gonna come to Tyreek and say, Mr. Tyreek, we would like to sign you to a new contract extension, makes you the highest paid receiver in the NFL. Would you like that? And he says, yes, now. Give it to me now. And you say, here's the check, sir.
Yeah, exactly, sir.
That's exactly how the offseason is going to go.
I apologize for making that suggestion that you shouldn't do backflips. Joshua, can we agree that McDaniel is a horrible play caller? No, we cannot agree on that. And again, you're playing the results.
Yes.
Aniceris, Omar, would you pay Tua? And if not, then what?
I would absolutely pay Tua. And I don't live in the then what era. But as I said, draft another quarterback. Fifth-year option. Okay.
Thank you.
Nobody wants to play on a fifth-year option, sir. Can the team realistically go in Arrowhead and beat home?
Christian Wilkins play on the fifth-year option this year?
I said nobody wants to play on a fifth-year option.
I didn't
say it doesn't happen. And then it pisses off the player.
Sounds like a him problem. Gotta do what's best for the organization.
Tired Allen's a little salty. Sounds like a him problem. That's the first time I've heard you use that one. Sounds like a him problem.
Him problem, yeah. Andres, can this team realistically go into Arrowhead and beat Pat Mahomes? Just seems like anytime this team faces adversity, they crumble. More like anytime they face a good team, they crumble.
They got to get some pass rushing, man. They got to get some pass rushing. And they got to get some coverage, guys.
1-5 against teams with a winning record. Nuclear Nick, I'm a very sad Dolphin. Here's money. Sorry, Nick.
Hey, Nuclear Nick, we appreciate you for $20, brother. It went to a good cause. I love and appreciate everybody. Any viable free agents for Andrew Van Ginkel, JPP? At this point, why not?
I'm not down with JPP.
Yeah, you know me.
No, neither.
You made me do it. Oh man, I don't know what you can get at this point in the season, and also I don't know the rules. Can you sign a player on another team's practice squad and have them join your playoff team? I don't know the rules on this.
There comes a time
you got to roll with what you got.
But you can sign people on the street.
Yeah.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah. To answer this question, Randy, and we were not there, but they do have an X-ray machine that's literally right across from the Dolphins locker room. And that's generally where you would go take an Andrew Van Ginkel to look to see if there's a fracture in his foot. And when they announced that he wasn't coming back, I suspect that's what the X-ray machine is lit. They don't have an MRI machine. They got to take you off the campus facility. And actually they got to take you across the stadium and to the area, to the facility that's right next to the practice field. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's open at those hours. So I doubt they could do it that night. But it's wonderful that it's right at the facility. But I suspect a foot fracture. So hopefully it's nothing like Liz Frank, because God knows Andrew Van Ginkel deserves the opportunity to hit free agency and maximize his dollar value. And if it is an ACL or something like, I'm sorry, not an ACL, and Liz Frank fracture or something like that, I would hate that for Andrew, because he absolutely deserves to maximize his career earnings.
Yeah, and they did roll him out pretty quickly. Finn Fan Matt with Mostert and Waddle back. Do we have a shot in case Sears a season over? No, they do have a shot. This is not
Puncher's chance.
Sorry?
Puncher's chance.
Yeah, this is not your what's the expression? This is not your grandparents' KC Chiefs. They're vulnerable. Having said that, the Dolphins have not fared well against teams with winning records, I should say. And KC does have a very, very good defense.
I want to ask you this question. I like Tua. I just don't know. And this is from Shadow Bates. I like Tua. I just don't know if he's the guy. He hasn't played a good game in over 6 weeks. I would disagree with that. I can't name you the game, but I would disagree with that. We should have won versus Tennessee. Couldn't make plays to continue a drive. Not sure it's the right decision anymore. To what? Invest in Tua? To do a slow dance with Tua?
It's not.
Wow. Boy, you're just putting that target on your back for Tua, huh? You know it's late, but they're still in Hawaii time. They're coming for you.
And I understand that. And I'm not gonna waver from my position. I said before the stretch run that I needed to see it, and I haven't seen it. The Dolphins were 2-3 in December, while the Dolphins were able to beat Dallas with a game-winning drive. If you look at the analytics from that game, Tua had one of his highest percentage of bad throws in that particular game. And I think you and I both had said after the game that it wasn't necessarily a great performance. He was very, very good against Washington, but that was the first of all, that was the first game of December in Washington. And he was very effective against the Jets when Tyreek had to sit out. but it wasn't good against Baltimore. It wasn't good today. And again, and this is not the same as me saying they need to replace him. I'm just, my whole thing is, do the Dolphins really need to shackle themselves to him as their quarterback for the long haul based on the evidence that we've seen so far? And to me, I don't think necessarily that's doing good business. That's all.
Malkovich asks, O-line was not the issue. I think it's time that we start to ask questions whether Tua can win big games. We've been asking that question. The defense played their A off. Also, special teams is a huge issue. No shit.
What? I mean, it's
like
agreed on every single count.
Yeah. Like, it is what it is on special teams, man. And Tua can't have it until he's done it. I don't know when he's going to do it.
But we're sure he's going to do it because he's destined.
He is destined.
We're Mostert, Matthew Blue. We're
Mostert. I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on. No. We're Mostert and Waddle not ready to go. Were they holding him out for a bigger game? If so, was this not a big enough game? Thanks, guys. No,
I don't think that's the issue. I think both tried and looked, and they're just not there.
And I told you guys, based on I saw Waddle, and it was like on Friday, and did not look a guy who could play. Victor, thank you guys. Our season's pretty much over. Tua, not him. That's a comment more than a question, so we'll acknowledge the comment. David, Mick McDowell out-coached again in a big game. How are we going to wait till Tua's what to drop?
Because you got to wait. You got to wait.
Well, I think the question is, how long are we going to wait?
2015.
Okay. I'm sorry, did you say 2015?
I mean, it's 2025. My bad. I apologize. Yes, I said 2025.
No, and to me, it needs to happen next year.
Yeah. I'm a little more patient than you.
You what?
I said I'm a little bit more patient than you. Nate talks to that man.
Next year will have been 5 years. That's long enough.
Been a Tua supporter since day one. What is holding him back in key moments? This was the man that came off the bench to win a national championship. Maybe that's the aberration and not the norm. I don't know. I think Tua is a phenomenal quarterback.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I think Tua is a phenomenal quarterback. Do I think he has it? Yes. Have I seen it? No.
Again, you're in a cult.
I will never be allowed in the cult. Okay.
You're in a cult. Toby, once again, McDaniel fails to counter opposing adjustments. 5 second half possessions, 4 punts, and INT. And Tyreek with 4 drops.
I don't know about that.
Wake up, Omar. Offense lost the game. Yeah, Omar and special teams. Offense and special teams lost the game. I didn't see 4 drops. I don't know what we're talking about here.
Offense and special teams lost the game. Special teams definitely lost the game.
And offense.
Okay.
Can't score 14 points.
I've never been a Tua-neer or a Tua hater. Unfortunately, it's hard to argue with what we're seeing so far. Defense held them to 14 and 7 on special teams. Loss goes on to offense. Okay. You guys win.
Alberto Laitano, I feel like the Rams with Goff, we need the QB change.
Don't agree. Trade for Justin Fields, yes or no?
No. He said yes or yes.
And I'm asking you, yes or no?
No.
No.
Johnny Pope, even the play before the last INT was a throw into double coverage and was a dropped INT like it was inevitable. Penix would be insane with Tyreek.
What you want me to say to that? Like I'm not even sure Penix is a number one is a first round talent because he looks kind of small. He looks kind of frail. Arm doesn't look super cannon-ish.
It's better than a certain quarterback you know and love.
Wow, I didn't say anything.
You're complaining about his arm strength. I mean, if
I just said it's It's not something that, I mean, I'm going to look at all these quarterbacks, but
he's actually got a good arm. And watch a throw he made. He made a couple of throws in the college football invitational semifinal last week against Texas that were just like, whoa, and some zip there.
Epicness 9001. Hope we are first round exits done with the effing team. F and BS team. Tua's trash. Go trade for a top pick QB. F this team. Effing bums. I guess you're angry.
Yeah, you seem displeased. Thank you, Glam. Dolphin highlights Tua's second half passer rating was the second worst in the game by a QB this season, barely above Ritter in week 9 in the most important game in 15 years.
It is what it is, man.
What's your point?
Yeah. It is. At this point, it is what it is. Sorry.
No, I got it. You're going to stop doing that? Adam. Thank you, Adam. I'd still consider this regular season a success. Tua healthy all season. Got 2 more wins under with far more injuries. Culture far better. On to Casey. The culture was not far better. The culture was exactly the same. Seriously. When the team's winning, they're all having fun. I'm not buying that the culture was far better.
Lewis asks, if we win next week, does it make this season success based on the standards set before the season? Yes. Nobody's going to argue if they win next week, no matter what it looks like, that the season wasn't a success.
Tim Andrew also want to mention Tua won the passing title. FY, what passing title do you mean? Most passing yards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. Omar, can you explain why you're so confident they give him $200 million rather than let him play on the option and tag him like the Ravens did Lamar? One, because you don't want to play hardball with a quarterback. It sets the wrong message to your team, sends the wrong message to your organization, and it devalues him. And it's not like anybody cares about what we think, or it's all about what the organization thinks. And the organization is head over heels in love with Tua, no matter what the outcome of today's game or last week's game is. Head over heels in love. You know who they are.
I know. Trust me, I know they are. They have been. They have been. How can I put this politely? They've been pumping his tires at every single turn for the past 2 years. But here's the thing, though: is it the only question I would have is that because that was their first round pick. That's who they took. They want to make it work with him. Hold on, I'm not done. So we're gonna do everything we can to make it work with him, or is it legitimately this guy can lead us where we want to go, or a combination of both? Because again, if you're in football ops and you look at what's happened and you look at every big game, and I know there's always an excuse.
I don't make them.
No, I know, but they're there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is a pattern. And to me, again, why are you shackling yourself for 5-6 years when, again, I get your point about like showing respect to your quarterback and all that, and you want to send a good message, but this is a business. So I don't know.
I'm heartbroken, Mark says. I really don't know what to say, but it's the same old Dolphins, no matter who the coach or the quarterback is. Thank you. Love listening to us. Thank you, Mark.
Love that.
Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We grind hard. You know how we do on alldolphins.com, where you get your free content, free coverage. Damn, take down Mark's question.
I'm going to, and I'm also going to tell you that I got to get up really early. School starts again tomorrow. We have a lot of questions that have not been answered, so let's go run through these, but with very quick answers. Deal?
Okay. Gotcha.
Max from Montreal. This year's team was exciting to watch, not built for playoffs. Second half and other games showed us Finns can't be led by Tua. Hashtag don't pay Tua. That's a comment.
Wow. So this whole segment just comes down to you see it in 2 games, and now the consensus is don't pay Tua. Okay, gotcha.
Again, you're already paying him. You're already committed to pay him $23 million. I don't know that that's not paying him. Maurice, thank you. Ross needs to step in on his $50 million BS. I have no idea what that means. Sorry.
I have no idea. $50 million for Tua per year? Yeah, that sounds about accurate. Yeah. You ready?
Sorry.
We're Omar and Allen. I appreciate the insight and discussions. Herbert got $262 million from the Chargers. Everyone likes to blame Hill's drops for the poor offense, but without Hill, what does Tua have? Nothing. I'm being completely honest. Without Hill and Waddle, Tua's got nothing.
No, the receiving core.
Without Hill, Waddle, Mostert, Tua's.
It's very pedestrian, and if you want to bring Herbert into the conversation, I would throw back in my same question to Omar. And this is not just me. Ask around national media and national GMs. Justin Herbert is held in much, much, much higher regard than Tua, like it or not.
Love Tua. This is from GOC Titties. Okay. Love Tua really, but he doesn't have it. Loss hurts, but knowing we don't have a QB we can depend on hurts even more. Hope I'm wrong. I don't think it's a quick case where you can't depend on Tua, because I think if you interview everybody who's around that organization, they'll tell you that they can depend on Tua. They can build around Tua. They can win with Tua. Generally, just about everybody. Wow.
Oh, whoa. Yeah,
wow.
Acknowledge our friend here, Mamo CC, and you just pulled him out of it. That's fine. We need to do this rapid fire. Go ahead.
Brad Boss, Flores was right. Jordan Love is in his first year has had a better season than Tua. Come on, man. Jordan Love hasn't had a better season than Tua. Stop. Let's just stop.
Has he not though?
Jordan Love
balled in the second half of the season. I mean, he balled in the second half of the season.
Let's see. Let's get to this.
Yeah, and you're going to go straight to passer rating. He was 12th. This is coming into today. Hold on. 12 coming to today. Again, later in the season, the second half of the season, he was balling. So I don't know that he had a better season than Tua. I was being a little bit of a smart ass here. But
don't backtrack it now. 93.8.
I was joking at first. Lucas, Tua's haters were all right.
They are.
No cap trucking, man. Come on. After losing a chance to win the division, there's no way you pay Tua. I ask y'all without being biased, does Tua pass the eye test?
Yes.
Thank you, Alexander. Sorry, I'm with you there. Perk 7S, McDaniel doesn't adjust and make changes in the game, yet other teams like Buffalo today clearly adjust and change their game plan. McDaniel is either stubborn, arrogant, or just too darn slow to figure out game time changes. What exactly did Buffalo change? They kind of did the same thing. Josh, go crazy back there. It's kind of Buffalo's game plan on offense.
Man, this is offensive. Oh, yeah. Kevin, thank you for your contributions. This is offensive. Deion Dawkins just put it out on X that the Bills Mafia runs Miami. Feels like a home game every time they play here. Yeah, they run Fort Lauderdale. They don't run Miami. Miami streets are different. Okay.
There was also a shout out.
Disrespect us. You took over the elbow room. Nobody goes to the elbow room.
So a shout out to the fans. Yeah, obviously he's going to do this. Nicholas Swan, River Craycraft made a great catch across the middle. Never saw him again have to use other wide receivers. And Hill signed Brent Grimes. No, you're not signing Brent Grimes.
They're not.
I know Omar would love that, but
they're not signing Brent Grimes. But anyway, I'm not even going to go there.
But why us every year? Then there's something. Why can we never do anything special, man? We're tired of losing in big games. Feel your pain, man. Skylar, again, thank you for your hard work this season, guys. Chances we win our playoff game next week.
30.
I was about to say 28%.
30, man. About 30, man. What? Tua is not athletic and cannot extend or improvise. Required to win big games, and he has what?
Low IQ. I'm not touching the low IQ part. The other one, no, he's not overly athletic, and he will make some plays on schedule, but not nearly as many as other quarterbacks. I blame this loss on penalties in crucial moments, drops that are drive killers, special teams, praying for good, too many key injuries. Tua is far from my list. I don't recall having that many penalties in crucial moments.
I don't think they had that many penalties. They had like 4 penalties in the whole game.
Yeah, they had like 3 in one drive.
Because you guys were open opposite. What?
Big O said guys were open opposite Tyreek on his show. He listened to Mike McDaniel too much. He should not listen to play call all the while. I'm paraphrasing. Okay. He can say whatever he wants on his show. It's fine. This is Omar's original point from training camp. Not enough depth. Tua for Fields and number 6. Who says no?
No.
Now that becomes interesting.
Tua for Fields and number 6? Are you crazy? No, I'm not trading Tua for Fields.
And the number 6 overall pick, I would think about it.
No.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys. Okay. Well,
sorry.
It's all good. I dreamed of seasons like this. I have loved Tua and been one of the biggest defenders. That being said, Tua hasn't shown he can carry a team. Facts. What is the smart thing to do when you're good, not great?
Not sign him to a 6-year extension. I'm sorry, what?
Hey, man. I swear to God.
Omar is speechless. Okay, let's keep rolling on. Noel, thank you, Noel. Forecast is for 8 degrees Fahrenheit at Kansas City next week.
8 degrees?
Butt cheeks confused together at those temperatures. Weather going to be a problem? Yeah.
Man. Listen, Finn's got a better chance against Kansas City than against the Bills. Muhammad, that's probably the smartest thing anybody's ever texted us today. They did.
Oh.
Don't all do nothing.
Oh, I'm going to although they'd have a better chance at home. Whoa, do we have Doug Lee Durong here? Doug Lee.
Hey, Doug Lee. What's up, brother?
Appreciate the awesome post-game videos. Justin Houston coming to Miami. Does a dude have anything left? That's my thing with him.
I mean, somebody got to get hit quick. I'm thinking JPP was in meetings for like 3 weeks. I mean,
JPP did nothing. Justin Houston had half a sack in 7 games with Carolina. Had a good year last year with Baltimore.
I gotta look this up, man. Can you sign anybody off everybody's practice squad when their seasons are done? They haven't signed a futures contract.
Yeah, but who's it going to be though?
I don't care. Find somebody else, somebody's practice squad. I don't care.
I mean,
you know who I saw all game? Josh Norman. And he looked it up. He's on the Bills practice squad.
Yeah, there you go.
I have no idea what the heck he's got left, but I have to think that he can't hurt you to give him a look.
No. Okay. My Lord, we still have too many. We still have a bunch of them, and I don't want to leave out any of them. So they're going to be really fast. We're not going fast enough. Tua is McDaniels. Goff need to get him. Stafford scheming only gets you so far in a game. Do you think McDaniel's smart enough to know when it's time to cut bait?
No.
Mike McDaniel is very, very smart. It's not going to be purely a McDaniel decision, though.
Tua just won the passing title. Finn's up. We're gonna cook the okay. Finn's up. We're gonna cook the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Bank on it. I'm a loyal fan. Bad game by Tua. He will be better, and I agree with you. I say that. Unfortunately, I'm kind of starting to not believe it. Don't say a single word.
Randy, what are the odds of Chubb and Phillips starting at the beginning of next year? Not
0.
Damn, harsh.
I don't even know how to say that name. Caldela. I think Tua is okay, but I just think he lacks arm talent. that won't win you anything. Just don't want 7 years of Tannehill. Yeah, whatever.
He's better than Tannehill, but I also don't want the same idea of going too long with a quarterback who you should have moved on from earlier. And by arm talent, you mean arm strength? Yeah, that's clearly not his forte.
Brighter side, glad we play Kansas City instead of Buffalo again. Any feel how this team will handle the cold weather?
Very carefully.
Not well at all.
Number one need in the offseason. Appreciate you guys.
Have no idea. Create cap space.
If you mean by for position, you need a left tackle at some point. You have to plan for post Tehran. You're going to need more cornerbacks because you never have enough cornerbacks because apparently everybody on the roster past X completely sucks booty. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm rubbing off on you too much. Leon, with all the injuries, it might make the contracts a bit friendlier. Andrew Van Ginkel, Hunt, Connor, don't do that. Tua, no extension. Don't care if he holds out in the offseason. All right, cool.
Not going to hold out. He'll be under contract. Utown, if we pay Tua, we are cooked. He is not that guy. Can't win big games. Just a stat stuffer. How is Tua Pro Bowler?
Oh, this has just become a Tua bashing session, and it's not going to be tolerated.
How is Tua Pro Bowler and not Josh? It's a three-way split. Fans, players, coaches. Tua won the fan voting among AFC quarterbacks. I thought Josh Allen would make it. I thought Tua would make it, as I said on the show last week. I thought Josh Allen would make it ahead of Patrick Mahomes, who didn't necessarily have a great year, even though he obviously has one of the worst wide receiver core.
Here's what I think is our last one. Oh, no, you took it away. I put it back. Tua just won a passing title, fins up.
We had that one, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And we had this one again with Christian talking about Tua's drops. Yes, Tyreek drops passes. Small price to pay for all the big plays he created throughout the 2023 season. And on that note, I believe we have covered all of this. If we missed anybody, deeply apologize.
That's not our intent. However, I got to go to sleep because I got to do the Joe Rogan show tomorrow morning. 7:40 is my start time. Be shouting out alldolphins.com where you can get all of your coverage for free. And Poupard is going to give you a snap count tomorrow. He's going to give you 5 reasons they lost the game. And
5 biggest plays.
5 biggest plays.
All types of good stuff.
Man, I cannot believe we're ending this at 1:00. I hate night games, but I'm glad that you guys have been here to hear the therapy session. I'm not selling you hope. As I've said probably all weekend, if these are your cornerbacks, you have no chance of winning a playoff game. And this is the reality of where you are as a Dolphin fan base.
He's wrong. He's wrong.
I'm absolutely wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Or is it possible that maybe if with those cornerbacks, if QB1 lifts the testicles?
Okay. I mean, that's what I mean.
No, that's not just. I don't want this to be misconstrued, but they need him to ball out. They need QB1 to ball out next weekend, and they can win games in the NFL with the cornerback group the way it is. I think Omar's being overly dramatic about that, and they could have won. They could have won tonight with. Wow, you could not be more wrong. They lost 21-14 with this cornerback group, with an offense that got 1 first down in its first 4 second half possessions and gave up a 96-yard punt return for a touchdown. So I'm Alan. I'm right. He's Omar. He's wrong. We really, really appreciate you joining us. We appreciate all the support. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Please check out our written word at alldolphins.com for free. And I'll let you have the last shot, Omar. Go ahead. You can tell me I'm wrong.
See you tomorrow, folks. We'll be back as we are every day. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired.